You're doomed. You're all doomed.
Today we rank the Friday the 13th franchise. I'm very nostalgic for this particular franchise, so I'm very excited to do this. I've seen many other tier lists, and of course, like all the other ones, my opinions may differ from yours. My opinion on films may very different as well. I hold a lot of nostalgia, so a lot of probably going to be films that I'm going to enjoy a bit more than others that maybe you don't enjoy, but that's okay, because everyone's got their own opinions. So let's jump right into the Friday the 13th ranking tier. So how I have listed these films, how I've put the tier list together, is that right at the top there we have Mummy Special Boy. Jason Voorhees is alive on this ship. That is our number 2 rank. Number 3, this is going to be a Haley turn. Number 4 ranking is kind of just okay-ish, just underneath the kind of the okay-ish sort of rank. Going to Camp Blooding, yeah. And then our bottom ranking is You're Doomed.
You Camp Blood, ain't you? God damn it, Ralph, get out of here. Go on, get.
Ralph, Crazy Ralph from Friday the 13th 1 and 2 is my favourite horror character of like everything.
Leave people alone. You'll never come back again. Oh, shut up, Ralph.
So let's start with our very first one.
Friday the 13th.
The one that doesn't feature Jason himself.
Oh, hi. What are you doing out in this mess?
Done all from the point of view of the camera. Kind of takes like from Peeping Tom of its time. Obviously Halloween was a big film just before this as well. Texas Chainsaw Massacres, and it made it quite, tried to like build up on sort of the gore with Tom Savini, and you had your a lot of nudity in there as well. Kevin Bacon features in this film. Kevin Bacon in a horror film. Really good if you're playing the 7 Degrees of Bacon game. I like this film. I do like it. It's not amazing. I like the Jason films more, but I would say this one goes in the number 3 ranking. This is going to be a Haley turn.
Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Friday the 13th Part 2 kind of recaps most of Friday the 13th Part 1. We've got Jason running about with a sack on his head. It's the first appearance of Jason. He's a bit weaker, but I kind of like that. I like that sort of it's a little bit different. The last sequence I really like, which will be recapped in Friday the 13th Part 3. For this one, I'm going to put it in the same place. I'm going to put it on the 3rd tier. This is going to be a Haley turn. 3D, Friday the 13th Part 3D. Jumping out of the screen at you.
Weekends are a good time to escape to the woods. Unless the weekend begins with Friday the 13th.
I actually really like the character of Shelley. I think a lot of people find him annoying, but I think he's quite a fun character. And of course, it's when Jason gets his hockey mask. I love the little backstory of how this came about, of how there was a hockey player on the kind of the set and brought his hockey kit with them, and they tried like a costume test with the mask, and then they fitted it to the actor after that because it worked quite well. But there is some cool kills in there. I do like the kind of, it's a little bit slow to start, but once it gets going, you got Jason with his mask off and things as well. I'm going to put this in at number 3 as well. It's going to be a Haley turn. The final chapter.
Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Let me tell you, this confused me as a kid because I was in a video shop. It's called Cherry Video, and I was looking at the videos, and we had the final chapter, but then it was kind of after that came out, so it was also, you had the Friday the 13th Part 5, 6, 7, I think even 8 was there as well. So I was a bit confused. I was like, why are all these other films? This is the final chapter. But my dad very kindly got me that VHS, and I very much enjoyed it. Corey Feldman's in this one with young Tommy, and he's got all the masks. I am also an avid mask collector. I've got a lot of masks. I love collecting masks, and I actually could relate to him quite a lot when I was younger. I love to collect like comics and masks and stuff like that. So I was very much like him. You got Crispin Glover doing the dancing in this one as well. 4 is a really good film. It's really, really good. It's most people's top, so I'm going to kind of follow suit there. It's up there. It's right at the top. Mummy's Special Boy.
Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning.
Which does not feature good old Jason, except we got Roy, who's actually become a bit of a cult following. There's a lot of cult following for good old Roy now. It's kind of captures the sort of, as other people said in reviews, it kind of like goes back to what the first one was doing, you know, a whodunit, and then has the kind of the Scooby-Doo reveal at the end. I don't know, the 5 didn't quite hit for me, and I've tried to rewatch it. One thing I do really like about Part 5 is the kind of opening sequence with the chocolate bar. I actually was so inspired by it. I do like horror plays and horror short films and stuff like that myself, and I actually put a bit in this horror anthology play I did on stage, which was inspired by the chocolate bar, about the kind of massacre over the chocolate bar. It was like a horror spoof. So it had influence for me, like it did influence me a little bit. So for that, I'm going to chuck it just underneath. Yeah, I'm going to chuck it just underneath there in the Going to Camp Bloody, yeah! Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason lives. He has come back. Like in true Frankenstein form, he came back. We've got an older Tommy Jarvis.
Jason's alive. We dug up his body. You gotta do something.
It's more of a horror comedy. I love the soldier bit. Like, the soldier bit's incredible. I nearly cosplayed as one of those soldiers. I probably will. I'm going to a HorrorCon in October, and I'm thinking I might try and go as the soldiers from this one here. It's really fun. It's also up there with everybody else's favourite. Usually that's one of the top ones, and once again I'm going to follow suit. It is right at the top tier there on Mummy's Special Boy. Friday the 13th, Part 7. We've got a sort of a Carrie type character against Jason. Now, I do agree with what everyone says about this film. It's quite slow, it's quite ploddy, it takes a while to get into it, and then, but one thing I do really like about Friday the 13th, Part 7 is the final showdown. I just think it's a lot of fun. Seeing Jason getting flying about with telepathic powers. It's a bit cheesy at the end, but it's a fun final showdown. So I'm going to put that just underneath. No, I'm not. I'm going to put that in the third section also. I'm going to put it in. This is going to be a hairy turn. Alright, let's break the internet. This next one is Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, he's only in Manhattan for maybe 20 minutes, something like that. He's mostly on a boat. Loads of people hate this film. Loads of people do not like Jason Takes Manhattan. I like it. It holds a lot of nostalgia for me. I watched this on like Sky Movies one night, and I just found it really good. I really enjoyed it, and I think I've still got that feeling from when I watched it the very first time. It definitely doesn't stand up to a lot of the other ones. The story is really weak. Somebody said, actually, I watched a review recently, somebody said that it doesn't have a memorable kill. Now, I've got to really strongly disagree with that one, because the boxing fight on the top roof when he says, "Give me your best shot," and he punches him and his head flies off into a bin. How are you not going to remember that? Like that, I remember that from childhood. That was one thing I remembered of this whole, actually, out of the whole Friday the 13th series, that's what I remember. I didn't always vividly remember like him getting hacked with the machete, or the soldier bit in the earlier ones, or the barn kills, or anything like that. I always remembered number 8. I always remembered the boxing fight when he punched his head off on the top. It's the first time I'd ever seen that. So yeah, I like number 8. Controversial opinion. I know it's a bit weird with all the toxic waste stuff in New York and stuff, but again, lean towards like the horror comedy side of things. Killer soundtrack in this one. So I'm going to put that also in. This is going to be a hairy turn. Oh, then we come to Jason Goes to Hell. Yeah, I when I first watched this when I was younger, I liked it. I did. It was a bit different. I was a bit like, but it was like, but then it had that bit with the Freddy glove at the end and stuff, and it made me go, oh, this is exciting. I rewatched it in lockdown. So here's a bit of a controversial opinion. I do not like this film. I don't think it's. I just don't like it. I tried to rewatch it and I'm just not a fan of it at all. It has to go right at the bottom for me. There's just something that doesn't click with me. Maybe it clicks with you, but it just doesn't click with me. I think there's not enough Jason in it. The story is just mad, like it's just crazy. All the kind of shape-shifting stuff. Yeah, this one's not for me, and it goes away down to you're doomed. And then we take Jason, we put him on a spaceship, and we shoot him up into the sky. Jason X. Now here is probably another controversial opinion. I love Jason X. I think it's incredible. It's a B movie or maybe even a C movie. It's shot like a really bad TV movie. The camera doesn't look good at all. The acting's pretty poor. There's so many things that is wrong with it, but it's just lots and lots and lots of fun. I always remember the sleeping bag kill. He's hyped up like a massive when he gets the metal suit and everything. I can still go back and watch Jason X so many times because you do not need to put any brain power into it. It's just so much fun. Here is the controversial bit. I'm putting Jason X away up there at Mummy's Special Boy. And then we have the crossover, Freddy versus Jason. A big Freddy Krueger fan, me. Also a big Jason fan, so I really was excited when these two came together. Now, when I first saw it, I actually really enjoyed it. It was a really good film. I love the kind of the cornfield stuff, like the stuff at the beginning. It was more kind of I think it was more geared towards Freddy Krueger than it was Jason. The showdown at the end is really great fight. Like I really enjoyed that. The fact that I'm a big wrestling fan. The fact you've got Rey Mysterio helped out with the kind of the choreography for that. But there's something on a rewatch that just didn't click with me. Like the script isn't that great with like between the characters of this one. The story's not. I mean, it's just about getting Freddy and Jason to fight, really. I do still enjoy it, but on a rewatch, I enjoy it less. I love seeing Robert Englund back in the role of Freddy, but as a Jason film, as a Friday the 13th film, I'm going to put that a little bit lower at going to Camp Blood, ain't ya? I'm very nostalgic for the old Friday the 13th films, so you'd think that maybe I wouldn't like this one, but actually, I really do. The remake of Friday the 13th is really, really good, and I really, really enjoy it. It's darker, it's got a good story to it, it's quite gritty, and I'm quite excited because obviously the rights have been bought again. We've got like the disputes kind of being settled a little bit. We're going to have a game, we're going to have a new film, and I hope that they follow suit of this film. I hope they keep the theme, they keep the tone in there. They could do whatever they want with the story, but like I think this would be a good way to go because it is a good film and it's a rewatchable film. So like everyone else, this is their favourite. It's not my favourite Friday the 13th film, but it's definitely up there. It's gone all the way back up to the top there to Mummy's Little Boy. Now this list that I'm using here also has the two short films that were made, Friday the 13th short films. I haven't seen the most recent one yet. The one that was made kind of almost like as a piece of media, but this is based on the two little short films that were made. The first one, Never Hike Alone. I'm going to put Never Hike Alone in that third section. This is going to be a hairy turn. Then the sequel, Never Hike in the Snow. Love the aesthetic of Jason being in the snow. This is more like a legacy short film. They bring back some old characters into this, which I was really impressed by. I really like this one. I just love the aesthetic of Jason being in the snow. I want to see more of that, more Jason in the snow. So this one goes to the second ranking on this one, which is Jason Voorhees is alive aboard this ship. So that is my final ranking of Friday the 13th films, of Jason films. Let me know in the comments what you think of my choices. I know you won't agree with all of them, and that's absolutely fine. I am Sandy. I'm a horror fan. I'm an actor. I do horror content on this channel, so please, if you do enjoy it, feel free to subscribe, give me a wee like, but most of all, let me know in the comments what your tier list would be. I would love to know. I love talking about Friday the 13th films. I love talking about all things horror. And please do join me on the next one.